Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Sami Ateek, and I'm a graduate of King Edward Medical University, Lahore. And little bit about myself: I have passed PLAB 1 and PLAB 2, and I have recently passed Mrcs Part A exam in the September attempt of 2022. So here I am to tell you briefly about the MRCS exam. Okay, so MRCS exam, first of all, what is the paper pattern? Okay, the MRCS paper consists of two papers that take place on the same day, which is paper A and paper B. The paper A takes place first and it lasts for around 3 hours and covers the basic sciences like anatomy. Major chunk is made up of the anatomy, and then physiology, and then your pathology. Another major chunk is made by the pathology section, and a little bit questions about the pharmacology. The pharmacology questions are distributed around the whole paper. Okay, and after that you have a break of 32 minutes to 60 minutes, and then the afternoon paper starts, which is the B paper, and it lasts for around 2 hours, and it covers the principles of surgery in general, and it has a large number of topics. You can see that it consists of ortho, trauma, and emergency, and a lot of other topics. There's a list of topics, 7 to 8 topics. You can easily find it in the EMRC's question bank. It's a whole list of topics. So this is the general two papers that take place on the same day, and around 5 hours is the paper time, 3 hours and 2 hours, and then there is a gap of 30 minutes to 60 minutes in between the paper. So now the exam is conducted online. That is, you have to go to a center, and you will take the exam on the computers. So paper-based system has been abolished, and that is good in the sense that you have to, like, you can change your questions, you can review your questions. Your questions are arranged according to your how you mark them. Like, you want to review them, you want to redo them, and you can easily see the questions which are attempted and which are left unattempted. So this is all about the paper pattern. Let's move to the resources which I used. So as far as the resources used for the preparation of MRCS exam are, the basic resource for the paper A as well as for the paper B is the EMRCS question bank. You have to do it over and over again. Apart from that, there are other main resources, as I studied mostly from the video lectures, voice notes, and animated stuff. So I used my resources accordingly. I used the radars and anatomy videos. Some of them are available for free, some of them come with their subscription. And apart from that, I read the anatomy notes, which are present in various groups of MRCS, or you can take them directly from me. Apart from that, for anatomy, I studied accurate I saw accurate anatomy videos, which I saw during my MBBS study. Apart from this, another important resource for MRCS are the Dr. Bishai voice notes that are available on his YouTube channel with the same name. For the paper B, my preparation was based on Dr. Remy Yusuf's videos, which are available for free on his YouTube channel, which is named MRCS Go. I will tell you about how did I went through each of the things in my preparation slides, and apart from these videos, I also went through the EMRCs. This was the general preparation of the paper A and B. After you're done with this stuff, you can go through the Faucier sheet and my notes, which are actually a collection of various important questions that have been coming over and over again in the exams. So now let me tell you about my study methodology, as every person has different way to study. So I'm sharing my experience based on my methodology or my style of learning. So my style of learning is not a book-based study. Throughout my previous years, I have been studying through video lectures. So I was on a hunt to find out the video lectures, video resources for the MRCS exam too. So first video resource that I used was the Aklan videos, as I already mentioned. Second, I used the random YouTube videos on anatomy and read anatomy videos, Bishoy's voice notes, and the major chunk of paper 2 was by the Dr. Remy's videos, which are present on the MRCS score. So in my guide, in my experience, you won't find multiple book resources which are usually mentioned, like reading Snell's Review of Anatomy and Master the MRCS book, and other resources like Raffray. These are other resources, but as I haven't used them, so I'm not able to comment on their necessity or their need. So as far as my preparation time is concerned, I took a total of 3 months right after my internship ended in May, and the exam was in September. I booked my exam, MRCS exam, in June, and then I started studying for it. So there was a total of 3 months, exactly 3 months when I started studying, and the dedicated period of study was around to 1.5. So as far as the paper A is concerned, which consists of basic sciences and consists of the following subjects, which includes anatomy, physiology, pathology, and pharmacology. So when I started studying for it, and the best way to start studying for the MRCS exam is to start from anatomy. It makes a solid base for studying other exams, other parts of the exam. And so I started with anatomy. I started first of all with the Snell's Review of Anatomy book, but as it was taking more time and it was not written based for the MRCS exam, so it had a lot of extra information. So it wasted my time, so I left it in the midway, and I started watching the anatomy videos, the excellent anatomy videos, which gave me a general idea about the anatomy of each region, like upper limb, lower limbs, thorax, limbs, thorax and head and neck, and abdomen and pelvis, of course. Apart from this, I also used other anatomy notes, which I have already mentioned, which were the Reda anatomy notes, which are basically the EMRCS notes, but they are written with some illustrations. They are available in different MRCS groups, or otherwise you can contact me and I will be happy to provide you them. That I used Reda anatomy videos, I used the Bishoy's voice notes, and I used the random YouTube videos on all the topics which I found difficult, like studying for the relationships of a thorax. So one thing you have to keep in mind that MRCS exam is an exam which you can easily pass with a smart study. There are certain set of topics which the examiners intend to test you on, particularly in anatomy. They have certain topics, certain MCQs, and they go on repeating themselves. Like most of the questions come out of the important topics. If you study smartly and study those topics clearly, which are based upon the EMRCS question bank, you will be easily, you will be able to pass the exam easily and in lesser time. So after you have made your basics of the anatomy through different video lectures, different resources, you have to come to the main thing, that is the EMRCS question bank. When you will be doing the EMRCS question bank, you will get to know that what are the important topics which are tested in the exam. Anatomy itself is a very vast subject. You can't study whole of the anatomy for just an MSc Part A exam. It's good for an actual practice, but for passing an exam, you have to study smartly. And you have to select the topics which are given in the EMRCS. You can study a detail on those topics, but no need to study the whole anatomy from various textbooks. So study according to the exam and its requirements. Try to repeat EMRCS at least 2 to 3 times for particularly anatomy. And for other parts like physiology, pathology, and pharmacology, I used the EMRCS question bank, and that was enough for me. Apart from that, if you find difficulty in physiology and pathology, you can consult that particular topics from the textbooks. Especially in pathology, there were, in my exam, particularly talking about my exam, there were a lot of questions about histopathology, which were not given in the EMRCS. And so, if you want to study that, you're welcome to do that, but they are not a requirement at all. You can pass the exam without studying textbooks. But to EMRCS and read the EMRCS textbook, which are the explanations of the questions carefully and in detail fashion. So that's all about the MSCS Part A preparation. Now let's move on to the Part B. So now, as far as the preparation of paper B is concerned, as it consists And the general theme of the paper B is the principles of surgery in general. So there are a number of topics in paper B, and the questions can literally come from any topic. Sometimes a major chunk comes from one topic, and the next attempt the questions are coming from another part, another topic of the paper B. So generally speaking, the preparation of paper B my preparation was based upon the video lectures of Dr. Remy Yusuf, which are available on the YouTube, in on his channel named as Mrcs-Go. You can easily find it on the YouTube. Okay, so my strategy of preparing paper B was, apart from the EMRCS. First of all, I went through his videos. In his videos, he usually solves the EMRCS with you. He first of all, the question appears on the screen, so like in your EMRCS subscription. So when you will go through that, you will he will first of all, he will read out the question for you, and then he will solve it. So best approach is to pause the video, read your question yourself, go through the options, and mark your answer. After that, play the video and then see what's the right answer, and then hear to its explanation, which is being provided by Dr. Rami Yusuf in his lecture. As a major chunk of preparation was based on this video resource, I didn't study any other extra resource for this particular paper, but there are plenty of resources available for the preparation of paper B, like the Master the MRCS, and people read textbooks, but I didn't go through any. I simply went through the EMRCS question bank one or two times, and one or two times these videos, and made my own notes so that I can revise things in there. The resources and things I am mentioning, I will be attaching a link in the description of this video, so that the things that are accessible to me are available to you too. So that's about the preparation of paper B. So apart from other resources which I have discussed in the previous slides, the other resources that we use for the preparation of the exam are the policy sheet and the minor notes, which are actually the collection of the important questions that have been coming in different exams, and the important concepts, important topics that are tested in the exams. So they allow you a quick revision of the topics and quick revision of the important points that are tested in the exam. So these two are must for the exam, especially the minor notes at least 2 to 3 times, and policy sheet at least 2 to 3 times before the exam. Apart from that, if you get hold of the past questions that have been coming in the previous exams, particularly your attempt, for example, in the September, so the September previous exams, if you come across those questions, do go through them. They help you in. They help you. They help. Sometimes the questions are repeated, so they help you score better and to help you go through the exam easily. So as far as the courses are concerned, practical courses are available that people use to prepare themselves for the Mrcs-A exam. But in reality, all these courses are not necessary. They are all up to your choice. But based on my experience, I would like to tell that the course of Dr. Remy Yusuf. In my times, we used to have a course of quick recap of the recalls, and now I think this is a full course which is good preparation of CSRA. I have personally not taken it, but I have heard this review that it's a good course. But I think you also have the option of taking only the recalls course. It helps you to revise the course or go through all the important topics, especially the recalls. He solves it with you on online Zoom meetings, and also the recording of those meetings is also available to you. You can watch those videos, the discussions of the recalls as per your needs. Apart from this, other courses are available, but personally speaking, I have no particular idea about them.